I'm hoping this video does very well. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Please share this video if you think this video is very informative to other people. I would appreciate it, but thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. He did me a solid, and he basically pumped tanker stocks because I'm very bullish on tankers. I think tankers will, could make investors a lot of money, especially if you were the early investors. And he pumped a stock that I'm invested in, and actually I'm invested into multiple tanker stocks because I want, disparity. But I do have some call options on Nordic American Tankers. I have 20 call options. I have $5 US. I am at a loss of 21.17%. I was actually thinking of buying more today, but I didn't because I think that there was a possibility Nordic Tanker could go further down. So I waited and, kind of kicking myself right now because I didn't know Jeremy was going to come out and do that. But definitely tomorrow when the market opens, I think I will be making money off these call options, but I'm not going to exercise them. Sorry, I'm not going to sell them. I believe I'm going to probably exercise them, and I might even buy more call options for American Tankers long term because buying options is safer than buying the stock, in my opinion, and you can make more money off it too. So it just depends on how the premium of the stock. But anyway, so I'm very, very bullish, and thank you, Jeremy, for making this video. I made a video not too long ago saying that I saw this one Canadian company that I'm very bullish on, and it didn't gain very many traction. I could make a more dedicated video over the weekend, but I still got a lot of research on this company to do, and I will be sharing in this video a little bit about this company, but I will talk about my overall mindset of oil companies, and I do think oil tankers could make you a millionaire in the future. It's a high probability, in my opinion, especially if oil prices stay low for a long time. I think that's a huge possibility. Graham Stephan made a video not too long ago about oil and how to invest in it, and he talked about tankers, and I do believe in tankers. I believe that tankers right now are getting paid $335,000 a day to store oil, at least according to Graham Stephan in this article. I can't find the article myself. I don't know where he got it from, but I'm thinking that oil tankers right now are making between $200,000 to $350,000 per day for each ship. Hopefully when earnings are announced for these tanker stock, hopefully that is confirmed by one of the companies, and if that was confirmed, these oil stocks or these tanker stocks are going to take off like a rocket, and I'm very, very, very bullish on tanker stock. I have a lot of money invested in tanker stock. I'm not going to share that because that's my own private issue, and if I ever became a millionaire again, I would not mention it on YouTube simply because I don't want to get harassed. I don't want people to know I'm rich. I just want to keep it quiet. Jeremy's making a lot of money. Graham Stephan, I don't know why he's doing that, why he's announcing that he's a millionaire. I mean, I guess nothing bad happened to him. He does live in California. Nobody came to him and kidnapped him and then threw him in the back of a car and tell him, give me $100,000 or you're dead. So, obviously, nothing bad happened to him, and he's shown his face. On top of showing his face, he's also, he's also a real estate agent. So he's, in contact with customers all the time, and nothing bad ever really happens to him. So maybe I'm just being paranoid, and maybe I will show my face one day. I don't know, but I still want to keep myself private if I was rich or not. just for my own safety purposes. Right now, I am not a millionaire, and I will be making a dedicated video of how I lost my money, and I'm hoping to gain it back in the future. But anyways, enough of that. That's just like a sidetrack thing. Anyways, yeah, so 20 million barrels of oil stranded as California runs out of storage. Because of the storage situation we're having right now, these tankers can basically charge more money for storing oil, because people need to store oil somewhere, and these tankers, they're like, okay, well, we'll do business with you, but we want a big premium to store your oil. So yeah, that's the reason why oil tankers are taking off right now. And I believe, because of Jeremy, the stock got pumped. And because of that stock getting pumped, tomorrow I will be profitable on my Nordic AMN Tankers stock. I might even buy more early in the morning. It just depends on where the stock price is at the day. We'll see. But in this video, we'll be discussing how to make $1 million off of Nordic Tanker. So in order to make $1 million off Nordic Tanker, you would need about 35,000 shares. 35,000 shares times, let's say, I don't know, out of, just craziness, let's say Nordic American Tankers goes back to $30. Let's say a bubble happened. These tankers are getting paid huge premiums to store their oil, and their revenue and profits skyrocket, and a new bubble is created, and Nordic American Tankers go to $30. Let's just say that scenario happens. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying if that happens, Nordic could go back to $30. And if you take 35,000 shares at $30, you are talking about $1 million. How much would it cost you to get $35,000 of shares right now? It would cost approximately, let's see, times, let me think. $6. Let's say you managed to get lucky and you bought it at $6 US. You would be paying $210,000 for 35,000 shares, which would translate into $1 million in the future. But not everybody is going to be investing $210,000 into a stock. That's crazy. That's a lot of money for most people, but there are rich people who would throw, and Jeremy has a lot of rich people that's watching his channel, and I'm sure that some rich people are gonna throw at least $210,000 into the stock. And then if you add all the retail investors, I honestly think that most retail investors in Jeremy's channel are probably day traders, the ones that have a lot of money anyways. So I think, Northern American Tankers will be volatile, but trust me, I believe when earnings come around for all these companies, I think the stock's going to skyrocket. If we look at National American Tankers, the share structure, it has a total of 147 million shares right at the moment, so they're not very diluted, so they can be pushed to the upside in a big way. And then if we look, at where it was back in the day, back in 2010, 11, 9, the stock was $30. I don't understand the story behind it. I don't understand how Nordic American Tankers went from a $30 stock all the way down to a $5 stock, or a $2 stock. Now it's a $5 stock. I don't understand the story behind it, but this could be an opportunity. This could be a huge opportunity to make a ton of money off the stock, in my opinion. But risk versus reward. They still pay a really good dividend. So even for the dividend alone, it could be worth it. But again, and I don't think the dividend is going away anytime soon, especially with this increase in business. Now I'm going to be talking about one of my companies that I think is a really big bargain. Why? Because according to Jeremy, I believe he said that this company has about 23 ships. 23 ships. And they are valued at 770 million US dollars. Argom Central Corporation. This is a Canadian tanker. Or rather, they are traded on the Canadian exchange. You can buy them on the OTC, ALGOMA. So on the OTC for the US side would be, I'm not too sure. Maybe they don't have an OTC. I don't know if they have an OTC or not, but they are traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And if we look 10 years ago, the stock was $17. If we look at the market cap, it's $358 million. They pay 12 cents Canadian dividend, and they have a total share amount of 38 million shares, roughly, if you round up. 38 million shares, market cap of $358 million. The only problem is there's no volume on this stock. But I believe that if Nordic ever goes back to, let's say, $30 or higher, I think this Argom will get dragged up to maybe $20, $30. If we look on the shipping side of it, according to Jeremy, they had a total of 23 ships. According to Argom Central Presentation, they have a total of 40 ships at the moment. They have 40 ships versus Argom that have 23 ships, and Nordic American Tankers, they have 23 ships. So I think, and these are ships, right? Yeah, okay, they're a Canadian company, but they can sail these ships to the United States, and they can use these ships to store oil. Because oil usually comes in barrels anyways, so they don't, I guess some of them could go in liquid form, but I'm assuming that these ships can at least carry barrels, so they can be loading barrels onto these ships and storing them for, a big decent amount of money. Some of them are actually oil ships. So I don't know which one's an oil ship. I still gotta do more research on this company. But I like the valuation of this company, $358 million. The only problem with this is the volume. It's pathetic. The biggest volume day was created by me, which was yesterday. I created this huge amount of volume, but then it just kind of flopped back. But it's still uptrending. If we look, it crashed, and now it's making its way back up. And I still believe that if Nordic goes up, I think Argom will be manipulated to the upside. But if the scenario ever goes to $7.25, I think that would be a bargain of a lifetime. That's my opinion. I do have a huge investment in this. I'm not gonna announce the investments I made in this, but I do have a big investment made in this. So I do have to gain. Well, I do have something to gain from the stock price going up. So I need everyone to be aware of that, because the stock market is a wealth of transfer in some cases. So at the end of the day, I honestly believe that ultimately rich people will move the stock up, not really retail investors. Retail investors have no say of what the stock does. Even though there's only 38 million shares, I still believe that, let's say if somebody bought 1 million shares of Argom, right? 1 million shares times $9.50. They would pay $9.5 million to buy 1 million shares. Only rich people can really move the stock. Maybe if a ton of retail investors went in and could lift the stock price up, but ultimately rich people can move the stock. So unless somebody comes in and starts buying, you know, tens of thousands of shares every day, I don't know at the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. I just believe that I'm not planning to sell any of my Argom Central, because I really believe in this company, and I think that if Nordic is $770 million US, I think Argom should be, and this is Canadian by the way, you know, because they have more ships. I think Argom should be way more than this, maybe like $1 billion Canadian. And that is still, you know, $30 per share. You know, that would be nice. But at the end of the day, only rich people can move this. And I'm gambling that one day rich people decide to pump the stock up. I'm hoping. I don't know. No hope. We'll see what happens though. But yeah. Anyways, you know, also what would be very nice too if somebody went and bought this company out. Like, let's say for example, Nordic American Tankers, you know, they use their stock to acquire Argom, or you know, or Scorpio Tankers acquire Argom, because it's only $350 million. Africa can obtain Argom. You know, then there'll definitely be a cash flow positive company and an oil company and a distribution company, but you know, I don't know if Argom would agree to sell to Africa, or Canopy buys out Argom. Why not? You know, Argom, right? Like, this is a consistently profitable company, and I think it's extremely undervalued at these prices. But there is no investor interested in this company, in my opinion. Just think about that. That's like 40 ships. They have 40 ships by the end of 2020, according to investor presentation. I still need to do more research. I still need to listen to the conference call. There's still a lot of research I need to do on this, because I plan to do a more dedicated video over the weekend maybe, unless my research is not done by then. Yeah, so, you know, you can also make a lot of money off of Scorpio Tankers too, because think about it, Scorpio Tankers, $100 on December 1st, 2013. Yeah. So if it goes back to there, you still 400% your return on investment, which is really nice. Tankers, same thing. You know, at one point the stock was $185.68. I know for a fact that I think this. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they have something like 52 ships, while North American Tankers have 20 something ship, 22 ships, 23 ships according to Jeremy. So yeah, Exxon Mobil, I'm still bearish on this, and the one thing I am I'm gonna make this video shorter, because this video has been long enough. I wish I could edit to make it more of like a 15-20 minutes, cut out parts. I really need to learn how to edit, add in an introduction, you know, really make an attempt to grow my channel, because I think YouTube can make a lot of money. I just been so lazy, and you know, I should really learn how to edit, but I just been lazy to learn. Yeah, anyways, the one downturn for oil is the fact that if oil keeps going up, let's say oil goes back to $30, $40, that could be a negative for these tanker stocks, because then that means that the demand is back for oil. I really don't think that's a scenario. I think oil is going to be very, very volatile. I think we could see oil dip back into the negative and then into the positive. If that's the scenario, these tankers are going to make a lot of money off of oil, like a lot of money. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.